Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? What is up? Welcome to Husker Hangover. I'm Matt Burzall. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Uh, after Nebraska's mind-numbing loss to UCLA on a somewhat dreary Sunday in Lincoln, Nebraska, I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know how we got here. I don't know how it seems to go this way, but it is what it is, and we are where we are. Um, yeah, just I don't get it. I don't understand. There's so much that fuck, man. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Maybe we did. Maybe we maybe we did make a deal with the devil back in the '90s and sold it all off, and we were never going to be good again. But a little bit of a defeatist mentality for me there. I apologize for that, but it's the way it is. Um, I I do still believe Rule's the guy. I do still think there's some things that have to change in there, and it'll be interesting to see how they address some of those things in an ongoing fashion. Uh, you know, positives to find in the game. I struggle. We shouldn't be having the same conversations that we continue to have in this, but we are, and we do, and it's one of those things. Jay Foreman will potentially join us at 9 o'clock. I got an invite sent out to Jay, so hopefully his schedule is clear. I know everybody. I had a couple of people asking to get Damon on. Damon, I think, kind of regroups with life on Sunday. I know he's got film and stuff with Westside, and then he's got just family stuff that he's a busy man this time of year. So he yeah, he's got shit going on. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to tell you. There are phrases or stages of the game where like from the jump, from the it's always an off-putting thing when the first play of the game, UCLA comes out and just thumps right away. Like they just thump you right in the mouth, walk it down the field. You bow up and you hold it to a field goal. That's awesome. That's great. But from the first play of the game at home, after you've lost two in a row, I expected so much more out of that. I expected it to be crisp, to be efficient. I didn't necessarily need a three out, but I also didn't necessarily need 10 yards on the first play that they run. I mean, it's nuts. And the thing that's tough as you watch is like these are guys that have been here for a long time. Like it players, that is, like the demons getting exercise should be something that they would want to be a part of, want to have happen, want to do. And I'm sure they do in their way. They just don't know when it gets to that point what they're doing. And the the part of it for me is like the sense of urgency. Like you should come out hyped up. You should come out excited. Like I will always watch the trenches, right? I will always watch how the first few series in the trenches go. I'll give you probably an 85% estimate how the game will go. When you watched UCLA getting off of the ball, there was a fire, there was a takeoff, there was it was just go, go, go. And I think two people undersold UCLA quite a bit in that game. Their losses, were to good teams, and I'm not making excuses for anything, but their record probably didn't indicate everything that we thought it was. Not just giving them a look. They lost to Oregon by 21. Indiana thumped them pretty good. USC beat them by 18, so maybe I'm wrong in that assessment, but I'm trying to find something, man. Just I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. I don't. something ain't clicking with either the players and mesh. I understand like rule in the process. I really appreciate the process and what's going on and how they're doing things. I do think changes on staff need to be made, but I'm not going after the head man. Walter is going after everyone. Um, but somewhere, something, if it's we need to have a seance, we need to have an exorcism, we need to do something to get different people in the building. If you've been there for over 10 years, maybe you have to go. Maybe that kind of turnover has to happen where there's nobody in there that has any tie to any part of Nebraska in it. But whatever is happening doesn't translate out to the field. It just doesn't happen. And there's nothing, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I didn't think I would be at this point. There was so much optimism, and as we were playing early in the season and things were going well, it was great. And now we're just at a different phase of it. It's a different setup. It's a different way that we're going at it. It is what it is. Got to find a way. Got to find something. Got to find anything to do. Wherever, however you are practicing, change it, switch everything up, and just come back ready. I mean, man, it's so nuts to me in my head that this is where this is at, and this is what the discussion points are. Highlights of them. I'd love to hear your guys' highlights. I mean, the comment section is moving pretty good right now. A lot of questions. Actually, I've got no great analysis of the game. UCLA came out ready to play and put it on you early. They were ready to go. You were not. The plays that Nebraska had done by the goal line, like later in the game, like every touchdown Nebraska scored was off of a silly, crucial UCLA penalty. And like that's real. And I don't know the makeup of the team or the kids or the players or the guys involved in it. Because when you get down to that goal line area, like that's a man maker. Like this is me versus you. I'm going to move you off of the point where I don't want you, and you want to stay there, and I don't want you there. Every play, penetration, there's guys in the backfield. You know, the time there where, you use weapons if you want to. Everybody knows that you want to try to cram that thing up the middle. That to me is a play action pastime. If you know your guys, give them the first down. Give them first down. Say, hey, we're at the 2, 3, 4 yard line. You just score on first down. If not, then I got to go play action pass, especially when I see the play and how it developed. Like the inability to cash in the money zone, the money area of the field, it's mind boggling to me. Like how it can't work or how we can't pull that off. And that's just to me, that's just a pride thing. Like I got to be proud of what I'm doing. I've got to take, like, I know there's no intricate, fancy methodology to this. This is mano y mano. I'm going to beat you. You're not going to beat me. I'm going to move my feet faster. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to be lower. I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be tougher. I'm going to be all those things. And we just can't do it. We don't execute it. We get bad technique. We get out over our skis. We fall. We miss. We whiff. That's everybody. It's everybody. It just doesn't. It doesn't correlate. It doesn't translate. That's a want to thing. Some things just get to want to. Some things just get to want to. Crucial things in the game. You're down 2 scores. And you're mounting your comeback, right? You're mounting your comeback. You're down 2 scores. I think there's 8-9 minutes left to go. Yeah, Harry brings it up. There's 8-9 minutes to go in the game. Okay, you've got to have a sense of urgency. Like you've got to push the pace. You've got to be the ones that show, hey, we took every shot you had. You punched us in the face the majority of this game. We took everything you had, and we're still in this. We're going to come down. We're going to score twice. We're going to win. Period. Okay. 8-9 minutes to go in the game. you've got to go. Like you've got to move quickly. Plays have to come in fast. I'm not saying it's got to create a sense of chaos, but it's got to be quicker and there's got to be urgency because you don't know. You don't know, but the more speed you operate with, the more efficient speed you operate with, the more opportunity you're going to get. UCLA is kind of like faltering in the end. You've got the chances. You've got the opportunity to get that done. And then I think, and then yeah, thanks, Harry. They scored with 3:50 on the clock. Like you don't have time for a 6-minute drive. You don't have time for that. You've got to go. Like, it's got to be moving quickly. There's no two ways about it. That just it has to be that way, and it wasn't. We're kind of cruising up to the line scrimmage and seeing what happened, and this, that, the third. But now you've got an off week. Off weeks are usually great. Last off week we had didn't go real well. So honestly, there's no days off now. You're going to practice all the way through the off week. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be like another training camp. And the ones that come out of it and survive, great. You're going to play. All due respect to the guys that have been there for quite a while. I don't care anymore. You've had opportunity. You've had ample opportunity to show that it's going to go a certain way. Put the youngs in, play them, because you got to see what you got. And if it's going to be the same and you're going to get the same look of it, might as well do it with the young ones. All due respect. You've had careers at Nebraska. All due respect, I got to figure out what I got in an ongoing manner, because what's happening right now isn't what it's supposed to be. Thing that pissed me off more than anything in the game, again, as it goes, Nebraska gets in a rhythm. They get in a rhythm running the football. They were headed to the south. I don't know what time of the game it was. I was a little blurred out, I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't drinking, was working. It was more just a feel of rage. I was mad. I was very not happy. Came back out from my little pouting storm, and I was watching, running, going well. Second and 2 or second and 3, ran it, got a first down. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is settling in. Run it again. Here we go. It's working. It's going well. Run it on a second down, lose a couple yards, and then here comes the pass show. I'm like, okay, fine with it. Play action pass it. Like, good, solid play action pass. Hit a tight end in the middle, because your protection on the drop back isn't going to be the heave on a 9 route. We can't hang our hat on it, because then when you come back to the run, or you attempt to, especially down the goal line, that mental belief from the kids that you trust them is gone. I truly believe you could have walked the ball down the field I think you had 4 or 5, which sounds so foreign, consecutive running plays. But then it's gone. Then it's chucking and ducking and all of it. And UCLA knew, they're gonna start chucking it. We're gonna start blitzing it. See what happens. See if we can go back to just throwing it. And we couldn't. We didn't. Two years into this, we still don't have an identity. 2 years into this, we still haven't, even though this is the first game, we still haven't won a game in November. There's just things that are unacceptable. And like I said, in the prep, there's no days off on this. There are no days off. You're working through the whole break. Can't have it. Can't have it that way. You can't. It's not. Nope. The product on the field isn't dictating that. You got to work the whole way through, and it's got to be uncomfortable. It's got to be awkward, and it's got to be aggressive, and it's got to be a deal. But I mean, if I look at that game, like I'd love to hear your comments. What were your highlights of the game? Did you have any highlights of the game? It's hard to find, right? I mean, I think the amazing catch is the reason I think we need a seance. We need an exorcism. Sorry to the Catholics out there. I'm just being tongue in cheek facetious. The last interception of the game. It's not the best pass in the world, but it's not the worst pass in the world. Goes down, we fall, bounces up. UCLA catches the interception, ball game. I'm at a loss, man. It's nuts. From the comments, Walter says Rule is a fraud. Don't believe that, but I think adjustments have to be made to the way things are done. You got to change the way you work it. You got to change. I'm not saying you got to make changes on everything, but you got to change up some stuff you're doing. Just have to. If it isn't broken, break it is a great phrase, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to people. But if it's going too well, you got to probably find something to make it better. We need a lot of help on finding things that are better. Yeah, I think me personally, I gotta switch up who's on my offensive line. I gotta make some changes. Well, for whatever reason, I didn't get into a lot of it. Like I said, there's a little bit of a rage there. There's still rage inside of me. I just try to control it every day. How much Mazuka played at left tackle? I don't think it was a whole bunch in the game, but I got to have him in at left guard. And if I got to move Lutovsky somewhere else, I just have to do it. Because I think when that offense really operated, that's where he was playing. And it was going well. Johnny, in a call back from earlier in the year, can we get the cricket back? That would be a better topic than these a-holes make us talk about every week. Got a kid that worked for me. Evidently, he's a cricket eradicator. He found that little cricket in about 5 minutes. Ended it. Must have sent some kind of message to his buddies because they've never been back either. I hope none of you already bought plane tickets to a bowl site. Nebraska's not going to a bowl. I'm not in that camp. I'm not in that camp. You got to find a way. Okay. You got to dig deep inside of yourself and you got to figure out what the hell you're going to do. What kind of man do you want to be when you leave this? What kind of man do you want to be known as? Do you want to be one that you folded up tent and you won 5 games early and then you didn't win another one the rest of the way out for the second year in a row? Or do you want to man up and figure out a way to do this? They can do that. They can. But this is a you question now. This isn't coaching or any of that. This isn't on part of it's on the adults. Shouldn't be so succinct with that. Part of it is on the adults, but part of it is you. You've got to be tired of this. You've got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. There can't be this lack of execution. And to have, the kids, and I get it, they're coming out and saying, hey, man, we don't get what happened. We were hyped. We were this, we were that. I don't know if they've experienced what that really is. Like, I don't know. Because there's a point of it where you have to say, hey, man, we were so well prepared and we were so ready for everything. That we knew. We did everything we could to be ready. We did everything we could to have this game. There was no doubt Nebraska coming out, Nebraska winning. I don't know the sacrifice that gets made, right? Does it consume you? Is it more important than your next breath to win the game? Those are the guys you have to have. Like, those are the guys that have to be there to play. It's that thing. I know nobody would do it, but you probably need to go radio silent, or you need to have somebody in there that they respect as a human being, and have a talk. You think you've done a lot. When's the last time you've run so hard at practice you've thrown up? When's the last time you've efforted so much that you became physically ill because your body said, hey, dog, we can't do this no more. But your brain kept telling your body, no, we're going. We're doing this. When's the last time that's happened? Right? Because now you're giving it. You're in it. You're committed. When's the last time, you looked at it and said, hey, this is the greatest play that's ever been called, and I'm going to go execute it. I'm not a huge sack guy, but I'm also not behind the scenes. So I don't know. Right? But I know there's more to give because what you're giving isn't working. So you got to work on that. Matt says, let's start some positives. Still thinking. The rain held off. Yeah, that's about it. That's about the highlight. Ken says until the players, oh yeah, there we go. Until the players want to win as much as the fan do, nothing will change in Nebraska. Yeah. There's a lot to it, man. I mean, and I do agree with that. I think there's just got to be and it's not an old head coming in and talking to him. I think those guys now, that just becomes white noise to them. I don't know if it's an older or a younger Nebraska alumni that comes in and says, hey, this is what I wish I would have done. Don't do what I did. But I'm not putting it on the players, but there's an accountability that has to happen. Like, there's an accountability that has to come to fruition. And there can't be any, no, we thought this and we thought that. We thought wrong. The only thing that we're going to be able to measure off of is the way the game goes. The game did not go well. The game went well in phases, but that game did not. That was not a game that Nebraska football team should have played. But week in and week out now, toward the end of seasons, this is what we get. This is the way it happens. And it's not acceptable. Mike says what blows my mind the most is how much we get manhandled by the other team. It's true. It is true. They have some more that I wish we could get. Some big old Usos, some Samoans. The Samoan brought us. I'm always down with them. Always. They're fiery. They're quick, twitchy. They get off the ball. They're fine with fighting. I like them. If we could get a tie into some Polynesian island that has a bunch of them, take them all. UCLA came out and attacked. Nebraska came out and reacted. That's your home turf, like home field, everything you should defend. Now, as I hit my little desk here in the new office, that my camera being attached to that desk will make the camera vibrate, so I will try not to do that. But this is mine. This is my home field. Every freaking game, 88,000 people ish, whatever the number is now, pay money to come watch me play and wholeheartedly support everything I fucking do. Good, bad, or ugly. They're there. Rain, snow, sleet, hail. Better than the mailman. They're there. If at worst, out of respect for the money they pay, I should be so consumed. And maybe I don't care. Maybe I don't. That's fine. Then you're messed up in the head. Because those people want nothing more than you to succeed. And they just want to be proud of you and proud of their university and proud of their football team. And your grandma's like, the Nebraska's, your grandma and grandpa probably in them stands. Your mom, dad, your neighbors, your family, all of them. I don't know if losing I don't know if losing bothers them more than winning makes them feel good. There is nothing in life I hate more than losing. Nothing. Thank God I grew up in Grand Island. Kenny Fisher was my high school coach, and that was what was up, right? We're winning. We lost, and it still to this day bothers me. It's still, I'm 50. I haven't played football at Grand Island for 33 years. Still, I failed the city. I failed them because we didn't win everything. It doesn't bother. It's got to bother me. I don't even care if a kid comes up to the mic after the game and says, hey, and cuss, whatever. We did this. This is on us. But again, I've still been looking for the alpha of alphas. Who's the guy that comes up to the mic and says, this is on me? As a senior, as a 12th year senior, I haven't done what I'm supposed to do. I haven't led this organization the way it should be. It doesn't consider. I'd love to boil it down and say, oh my God, this is X and O's and this play got called and this should have worked. Shit. Ain't that. Ain't that at all. It didn't bother you enough to not lose that one-on-one battle blocking. It didn't bother you enough that you couldn't get open on a route. It didn't bother you enough that when your linebacker did everything right, forced the play back into you at safety, and you came in and wanted to go for the kill shot. You didn't want to tackle. You didn't. You wanted to get your ESPN highlight. You want it to be about you. You come in, you make a hit, you knock your guy off the tackle. When he's getting his ass kicked by a lineman twice his size, but he's still fighting and he does everything right. Every fucking thing right on the play. And you come in for the kill. And all you got to do is tackle. I don't know if they want their brothers to win. I don't. Because when it breaks down, it's because of selfish things. God damn. How many years have we talked about this on here? Sorry about that. To the people that just loyally listen, that I love. How many of you, how many years have I said it? Are you going to be selfish or selfless? Which one you won't pick? Week in and week out, we got guys that try to go get theirs. Trying to go get theirs. And this is, you know what? I'll put blame on this. Your high school coach has wronged you. Okay? Because I'm not coaching at Scott, but I will go watch film. I meet with the lineman on Monday mornings. We talk. Got a young kid. Gonna be real good. Gonna be a real good player. But he loves peeking inside. He's a defensive end. He has a motor. Love the kid. Great energy, great effort. But he always wants to peek inside. He's an outside arm responsibility guy. But he always jumps inside. I told him, you are going to get us in trouble because you are selfish. I don't care that you're a sophomore. You are selfish. You want to go get yours. We want to go get ours. Okay? If you continue to do this, you are going to get burnt and it is going to cost us. Please stop doing this. Okay? So I walk over to watch the playoff game. First series is in, peeks inside. QB knows it. Right around the corner, big game. He doesn't look at me, I don't look at him. Because I'm on the sidelines, he's playing. I'm just a spectator. Next play. They try it again. He does it right. It works, forces back inside. Linebacker makes the tackle. Everybody celebrates. Good stop. Okay. Don't say anything to him when he comes off the sideline. I'm going to let him fix him. Goes out the next series. Perfect. Series after that. Perfect. Finally, I go over to him like, I'm so proud of you because you're not being selfish anymore. You're playing for the greater good of the team. And he looked at me and it clicked. And now I probably will have to correct that maybe once the rest of the way, however far they go. The reason I bring that up is because until you play that way, you will have breakdowns defensively. You'll have guys that run by themselves. You will have tackles that get missed. Because we were so good at tackling last year. We tackled so well. and now we're missing them and we're diving and we're not doing what we're supposed to do. Right? You've got to be selfless. You can't play this way. It does not work. It does not work. It will never work. It will never work in life. Just telling you. Big Z says we're completely getting out coached as well many times. How many times is Rule going to say they came out and they were doing X, Y, and Z, and then not we have any answers or adjustments, or the adjustments happen too late? Staff could be more fluid. I'm not going to disagree. I think at times people have too much. I think there's too much in the playbook and too much that you have to go over. I've said this on here for years too. Jesus Christ. I hope we don't get to the point where I can just replay the previous year's things, but simplify. Simplify. These are the 6 formations we're going to run. These are the 5 plays we're going to run of these 6 formations. That's 30 plays. If you go right and left, that's 60 plays. We need more than 60 plays. We don't have to run them all. Not everybody gets an equal shot. If we find 4 or 5, they're going to work. Let's go. Let's do it. Perfect. I think you have to pare it down. Bradley J says the running back rotation is unreal. We had 6 runs in a row, and that occurred with 3 backs. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of seems to be like what Nebraska has done for quite a while. Not a huge fan of it. I think all their backs provide different things. But I've said for a while I would have no problem putting Ramir in the slot and letting him run from there. Kind of try to make something happen if you could. I think Emmett and Dowdell, but with the three back setup, I'm fine with the rotation if it's a series. Like this is your series, whatever play we call, because I can't have guys that. Oh, okay. Here's how we do it. Okay. I'm the running backs coach. I'm in the running backs meeting room. Here's the deal, bud. Okay, so we think you're great at this. Boom, boom, boom. We think you need to work on this. Boom, boom, boom. If you don't get this fixed through practice this week, then you're going to get every third series. So meaning the other guy is going to get 2 and you're going to get 1 for the whole game. Because we're not rotating guys in pass situations or run situations. You're going to have to be able to do all of this. This is the expectation of you. So then as a coach now, my drill work has to go into where I just pound that into them, pound it into their brain. You are not good at we'll just say blitz pickup. Everybody, not just you, everybody is going to do a full session of blitz pickup. We're going to go over with the linebackers. They're going to work on their blitzing. We're going to work on picking it up. And not for 3-4 reps. We're going to do this for a full section of practice where you either figure out you're going to do it or you're going to not do it. Now I know what I can play you. So now I'm not a fan because I've spoiled, right? I got to watch Frank tool these guys. They did a lot of balance drills. They did a lot of this and that. The majority of their time, they were beating the shit out of each other in blitz pickup or linebacker pickup or those kind of things like fills, where the linebacker, the hole opens, the linebacker fills it, your back goes in and smacks him. And they would just do that. I've got to have every back be able to do everything as I get in there. I can't have some of them do it and some of them not do it. Because now, to speak to Bradley's point, now I can get to a rotation. You have series 1, you have series 2. If our third guy isn't up to par, then it's going back to you. You guys are just going to alternate back and forth every play. It's on you. I'm not going to come get you and hold your hand. You're doing this, okay? Everybody can do everything when we play. Specialization can't be in my vocabulary. Larry's on board with me. It just man, fuck, I don't know anymore. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. Why we run passing plays on 3rd and short and take 10 seconds to develop? No wonder Dylan is seeing ghosts. Don't think he's seeing ghosts. He's seeing actual humans. He's pressure in the face. Quick. I'm okay if the pass is quick developing, right? They tried to hit Fedoni in the flats a bunch early in the season. I did if they tried to run it during the game and I didn't see it, I apologize. Like I said, I was in a bit of a rage because I knew how it was going to go. It's why people I'm not the best person to watch a game with. I know my weaknesses. The game will start. I will watch 3 or 4 series, and then I will just leave because I know how it's going to go. Um, it's a gift or a curse or both. So yeah, so if you come in and then I'm sitting there intently watching, we're in it. We got a chance. If you come in and I'm not, and I'm making pizza, or I'm in the background punching walls, then yeah, it's probably not going to go well. Wesley says, "Don't understand how they come out so flat to start the game." Gotcha, brother. I mean, I'm with you. You get like the beauty of it. You're not baseball. You don't play 60 games. You're not basketball. You don't play 45 games. You're not volleyball. You don't play every third day. Softball, the same deal. You play once a week. Should be the highlight of your time. It should be. You should wake up on Saturday morning like it's Christmas. I get to go play. I get to go release. I get to go hit somebody that's not my teammate. I get to go show my amazing fan base, the whole nation. This is what I did this week to get better, to make Nebraska better. I don't get it. The only thing that it would be is that if I don't know if they fully know or comprehend what it is to be ready to go at the jump. I'm in the new studio. I'm just realizing these lights are incredibly bright, so I'll figure out a way to dim those because the glare off of the nugget is probably blinded somebody. So I apologize for that. But yeah, it's crazy to me, man. It should be. Listen, I didn't even play a lot, and I was hyped for the game. I was like, oh my god, one play away from being in this thing. I got to be locked in, ready to go. Does it consume you? Does playing football at the University of Nebraska Lincoln consume you? Do you want to win more than do you want to take your next breath? And are you going to do everything in your power? Listen, you get into a slugfest in that game where it's back and forth and you're punching and counter punching and it comes up short at the end. Losing sucks. But I know if I left every bullet that I had in the chamber out, I shot them all. Perfect. You beat me that day. But when I come out tentative and I come out and they walk it on me and I come out and I look like, oh shit, maybe, hey guys, UCLA, do you not know we're at home here? Like you guys aren't supposed to. This isn't how this goes. That's the troublesome thing too. Larry says the offense is regressing more every week. No in-game adjustments. Out coached again. Yeah. I mean, I hate it. I hate to say it. I just hold on to that one series because I know what it can look like. It can look like that. Okay. It can look like 6-yard gain, 5-yard gain, 8-yard gain. Instead of taking your shot on 2nd and 2, you just get the first down. You just build confidence and momentum in what you're doing. Okay. Then if I just feel like, oh my God, it's been 6 plays and we haven't thrown it. What are we going to do? We got to throw it. Great. Dylan is very good with the football. Okay. Ball fake, quick pass, gone. Because you've made people uncomfortable in the fact that you can get the ball up the field. You can run the ball successfully. Okay. Talks that happen when coaches are locked in. Hey, offensive line, we're going to do this. Here's the script. Here's the first 5. Show me. Show me you can do this. All right. I'm not saying you got to win all 5. You're not going to win all 5. They're trying to win the game too. But show me. Show me that this works. And we'll just keep doing it. Again, I don't need to see all your plays. I need to see your plays that work. Don't need to see them all. As far as adjustments go, yeah, I think we were a lot better at it early in the year. I do. But that's, their panic button push or the things that whatever. Sphincters tightening when it's not going well and you're, down a half, maybe. But be a man. Figure it the fuck out. You want to know why Nebraska was so like swaggy when it was good? Because Milt thought he had the best unit on Milt and Dan thought they had the best unit on the team. Charlie thought he had the best unit on the team. Frank Solich thought he had the best unit on the team. Kevin Steele thought he had the best unit on the team. And they were competitive with each other. Right? The smiles on their faces when 1v1 sections would happen, they were just as in it as everybody else. If you got beat, you got your ass chewed because you're representing them. Coach got a little swag to him, right? Now I got to defend my coach because he's teaching me this shit. I can't let you beat me. And then I rewire the brain to where I can't get beat. It just doesn't happen. Oh, Christ on a crutch. All right, back to the comments. Harry says they have proven talent evaluation suspect. Jeff Sims, remember, surefire pro QB. Gabe Irvin was heralded as a starter under Frost, and also last year, Rule poor kid can't get on the field. Yeah, I can't. I like to argue, but I can't. Things have got to probably get better. Matt says it may be silly observation, but it just seems like we're always in the right spot, but in bad positions to make plays, offense and defense. Our pad level isn't always tall, and we are seldom getting leverage. We just don't seem aggressive in that way. Guys don't trust the guy next to them. Eventually, they will. Yeah, that gets back to it. Is my success less than yours? Can I be selfless? Do I want to go do this thankless job? Like like the defensive end at Scott. You don't want to do that. You want to go make tackles. I tell you what, if you start to do that and they start to make tackles, guess where that quarterback or running back ain't gonna want to run? He ain't gonna run inside. He's gonna bounce outside. And guess who's gonna be waiting for him? You. And then you make the tackle. I gotta give a little to get a little. I gotta do my job. I have to. Laura says, why does the QB hold the ball so long? Is he not seeing the field? So many guys are wide open for a touchdown. That is a great question. I think he does probably a little bit better job of feeling pressure and maybe feels it a little quick. Okay. So like quarterbacks, like especially like quarterbacks that are dropbacks, they want to throw it. They know the range and they can feel. They're not going to look at the guy and be like, oh, he's 2 foot from me. I better let this thing rip. He can feel him as he's in the pocket. I think as much as the pocket is broken down for him, as Brian alluded to, I don't think he sees ghosts. But I think his feeling for that distance is off. You are correct. I think maybe paring things down to where it's like, hey, let's just get you back in rhythm. If we're going to throw this is going to be 1, 2, 3, rip it. Right? Barney on a slant, little fast, quick guy. Dylan is just going to be on your third step. Let that thing fly. Just let it rip. And I think that would help a lot. I think it would actually ease some strain on the offensive line too, because the holding of that block doesn't have to be as long. We can just get this thing out, get it gone, and away we go. And I like that actually a lot. So that's a great point. Mike says, do we now start playing in the redshirts? You got 4 games for him. I'd play him. What's the worst that can happen? If you play him and you get the same stuff, the same kind of execution, the way things are going, now I know how you're practicing. So yeah, I'm with you. Play him. Walter says, Rule hired his buddies. Sat, Ed Foley, both suck at their jobs. That's Walter's opinion. I think it's quite a few people's opinion, but listen, I have no problem being trusting in a coach that has that I'm turning like responsibility to, right? I'm paying you a lot of money. Am I going to go lean on you and say you got to do this right now? No. If I'm the AD, but I'm having discussions like, hey, what's the plan? What does this look like? How are we fixing this? Because just me as your boss, I'm seeing this, blah, 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 blah. But those discussions have to be had. I don't think it's as chummy. If we're going to compare it to a previous regime, that previous regime didn't really want to get rid of anybody. Um, Rule got rid of one of his kept men because he was acting crazy. So I think terminations will happen. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I think changes will get made. I do, because if you're not always striving to be better and to get better, if a better opportunity comes as a coach, I think you have to take that. And I think you have to say, hey, we got better today. We changed this, we did that. But it's an off-season thing. We're gonna have to see what happens. Big Z. Yes. John says Robert agreed, and he also needs a nice route. I don't know what they were talking about. They were talking to each other. Harry says let's not BS each other. Satterfield's piss poor. Oh man, it here's another thing people may probably not talk about as much, but there's got to be also a trust or a distrust in the play call, right? Like in the kids feel it and they don't like it. Somebody has to. Again, though, I don't know where the alpha of the alphas is. Like I don't know who that guy is. Who's the player? Who's the player that has? Who's the player that has Frost's ear? Right? Who's that guy? Who's the one that the player that can go in and say, "Hey, coach, this is what's happening. This is what it is. We got to address it. It's a team sentiment. Help us, right? We gotta try to get something done." Like that's who I don't know exists on the team. I think those hard discussions have to happen. We're just letting our potential guest know that I sent him. We'll see if he's up and about. But yeah, I don't disagree with that. This desk sucks. Everything I touch vibrates this thing. Travis says it's the spaghetti principle of offensive play calling. Throw S against the wall and see if it sticks. Combine that with subpar line play, receiver play, and voila, the Nebraska offense. I've said it for weeks. Said it for weeks. It's not a very fluid setup. It's very non-rhythmic. The disjointed is probably how I would use it. Laura, back to her. So if the QB isn't seeing ghosts, he is seeing humans. Why is he not? Oh, I lost that one. Where'd that one go? Wrong computer. Why is it passing them if they're open? Because what he'll do is he'll look. So if he's looking this way and this feels closer to him than normal, he's going to go to the next. So he's got to slow down with this. He's got to slow down his first look and then just get rid of it. Laura's in it today. I like it. Jeff Gordon, not the car racer, but a good buddy of mine, says Rule talks a great game, but him and his staff have gotten out coached every week. Yeah. Goro tells me it's basketball season. He knows it's baseball decided not to have a great World Series, just have a 4-1 World Series. Already got friggin' NBA basketball on the goddamn TV, and now it's basketball. It's a tough time. It's gonna be dark at 4:30 before you know it because we gotta do this daylight savings thing. I don't get it. Don't get it. The amount of Satterfield hate in the comment section is high, very, very high. Oh, I didn't mean to put that up there. I didn't want to do that. We will still hang out here for a little bit, though. And we'll see what Jay's got going on. We just sent him a message. I know he does a show on Sunday morning. How do we fix it? How does it get better? All right. So from here on out, and I think if you kind of take this in and try to get my good friend Tiff from high school listening in Chicago. Tiff, we're trying to get Jay Foreman on. I've sent him the link. It's up to him to click the link now. So we'll see if Foreman does that. If you want to change it, okay, you've got to change how you go at it. Like you've got to change how your operation works. You've got to change how everything is up there. And you've got to make sure that you walk like you can't do what you're doing because you're getting the same result, right? If I do something over and over again that it nets the same yield, right? Now there's some things that you just can't fix, but I can change a practice. I can make it crazy physical. I can make it crazy uncomfortable. And like, oh no, they're not going to do that. They're going to leave. They're going to blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then you got a guy that you know doesn't want to work. If they want to leave, let them leave. Like, I get it. But I've got to make practice the most physical. There used to be, earlier in the year, there's Nebraska hangover. You would play Nebraska, and the next week you would not cover, or you would not win. One of those two things, both great for me. I put those in my non-traditional retirement account. I think that was fantastic. I'm like, man, I got something here. Look at me go. I'm making some free money. You got to get back to that. You got to get back to being technical. You've got to get back to moving your feet and moving your hands and everything. It works in every position. You have to. They should drag themselves off of the field, especially in an off week. They've had time to think. There's no need to take a day off, get away from it. No, get in it. Embrace the suck. Embrace the pain. Embrace the fact that you feel so uncomfortable that you can't go out and execute. Let's do it. Let's really get into this. Let's find out who loves to be here. Let's find out who wants this thing to happen. Let's do it. Let's go. I don't know why we can't hit the microphone there. I'm just killing it today. Let's do this, though. Like, let's make this thing uncomfortable. Well, I did the best I could, ladies and gentlemen. I always try to effort to make shows. I listen to if you got more people you want to come on stage, but joining us here, a good friend of mine that I don't get to talk to as much because he's busy and I'm busy, but my brother from another mother, the pride of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, the man of more catchphrases than I probably know any other human has, Jay Foreman. Jay Foreman, how are we doing this morning?
What's up, man?
Hey, how
I'm
you
doing
doing?
all right, man. What's happening?
Look at you all blacked out. What are you doing?
You know, it's all good. Well,
You all
yesterday
good?
was a funeral. Yeah, yesterday was a funeral. We lost. You know what I'm saying? No,
Buddy,
I'm just playing. What's up, man? What's happening?
just trying to walk through this, dude. I mean, it's like honestly, I got flashbacks. Like it all seems to go the same. I mean, we get into a spot where we're going good, and then it all seems to fall apart and go bad.
Yeah, I just think it's more of a like for me, I look at it like it's a mentality thing. I think it's a thing that where this is probably the and it might have happened before, but we always kind of had the built-in excuse of we just joined the Big Ten. They gave us too hard a schedule, the timing of the schedule. Frost had the lightning delay. We've had some really bad referee crews at times, and all that stuff, right? So, but this is the first year I think that rightfully so should be frustrated where you have the schedule set up. well, amount of home games. We did good in the transfer portal. Had a big flip with Dylan and everything. I got a veteran offensive line coming back, and then it's more or less like there's been, here recently in the last like month or so, guys, it's kind of like every other game we show up ready with the intention of playing well. And I think maybe we grossly underestimated USC, right? Maybe. Just to think of like, if you thought that they weren't going to come in prepared with essentially, they got essentially an NFL head coach as the offensive coordinator on the cheap and wasn't going to be ready to, for a fist fight and thought that they could, punk us in a lot of ways, and especially after they just beat Rutgers and walked the dog up and down the field against Rutgers. Then we weren't able. I guess the worst part is we didn't make them match our intensity. We had to match their intensity, which the defense did in the second half, and we just been struggling, to kind of get out of neutral or first gear, especially in these games that we're playing, somewhat like opponents.
Boy, and that hate, right? Like Eric Bieniemy's offense coordinator at UCLA and great football mind. But when you get a coach, like if you trust him, you believe in your coach, and he hates something, you hate it too. You don't know why you hate it, but you hate it.
Yeah.
He hates Nebraska. Always has, always will. And that's okay because we don't really like Eric Bieniemy either. But he had those guys playing. Like he had them thumping.
Yeah, they play with an edge, and I think he's found a groove with them. I think it was a little bit of a slow start with them. They had a little bit of the injury bug, but I think they found their rhythm in the type of offense that they running with their type of athletes. They run the ball enough just to kind of tease you a little bit. Then they use the flats and the quick game to kind of be an extension of the run game. And they got that tight end is a hell of a tight end, man. And so he's the ultimate equalizer, being 6'6", 250. You can pick him up and put him down.
Buddy.
And then the quarterback, he's very, deceptively fast and all that. And he killed us with a couple QB, scrambles.
Coaches
so, I mean, I think it's look, man, Eric Bieniemy's hate can go, only so far, but I think these guys they brought it to us, dude, and we just didn't show up ready to play. And then offensively, we just are just struggling right now.
Players take on the persona of their coaches too.
Yeah.
If you're an alpha and you believe everything you're doing, and those kids, because you're like you're talking about 20 some odd year old kids, right? You're just looking, who do I want to follow? Who do I want to be?
Yeah.
And that's true. Like they played like Foster and like.
Yeah. I mean, I think people like, Deshaun Foster, his first like interview at the Big Ten media days, and everybody thought like, oh, he's going to be a failure. I mean, if you know D. Foss, that's just the way he is. He's very like just kind of real humble and real quiet. But he's done it. If you look at their staff, he's done a really good job of surrounding himself with guys that have a ton of experience and can help him, look in his blind spots per se in his rearview mirror. So the coaching and all the stuff that he doesn't have experience with as a head coach, he's learning on the job. But the learning process is a little bit less because of those guys. And so, look, he's a UCLA guy through and through. He's a California kid. He's expensive, or he's a competitive. And this is a dream job for him. So if you don't think they're going to play with an edge and play like how he wants, and it's probably not where he wants it, you're sadly mistaken. So I just think it's one of those things that, Nebraska just got caught, essentially with their pants down, and not ready to go, and it was a little bit too little, too late.
So does Nebraska have the makeup, Jay, to take this off week, right? So you got time off before you go out to USC. You just basically have a mini camp, and you just go in and you make it as physical as possible, and you find who's in it and who's out, and you play.
I mean, yeah, that's part of the process. That's part of it. But then also, this has got to be, all the talking and stuff. That's just like, that's good, right? That's good for the internet. This has got when you got to have a team meeting with the players. It's got to be a call to action, and it's not going to be nice. And it doesn't mean it has to be demeaning, but it's got to be demanding. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I need to demand more from myself. I need to demand more from my teammates, and we are going to fix this. We are going to correct the things that we can control. And what do we control? We got to first of all, we got to play harder. We got to play smarter. We got to play in practice. We got to show up to practice with the intentions of getting better and not getting through practice. Okay, we can control that. We got to communicate better on defense, and we got to be better technique-wise and fundamental-wise on the offense. Now it's up to the coaches to do the drills and stuff, but we got to do more. Like I would say, listen, unless it's a family emergency, nobody's going home. Nobody's going home in a bye week. We're finding ways, because if the coaches only can see you a certain amount of days, then we're going in there on our own. You better be there. And on the weekend, I know, okay, just say Sundays is off and then Saturday, you need to get together and break bread and watch some college football. We need to dive in. We got 4 weeks left. We got 1 month left to get it together. The worst case scenario, we win one game, we become bowl eligible. We got to win this game against USC. And so we got to do everything that we've done before, which is in a positive way, and then some more. If you think you're going to give the same effort and intention as you did to get to 5-4 and not play well these last like 3 weeks and or whatever, or 3 losses in a row, and you think you're going to get a different result, well, I'll tell you this: I got like a bottle of water that if you drink one sip, it's the eternal water for life, and all you got to do is give me $1 million and you'll be the only person in America to have it. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. We need more effort. We need more intention. We have to, if you really want to do it. I'll leave you with this, Virgil. The talking needs to stop. Don't tell me what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you like what my grandfather said when I called him up and said, "Man, I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna try to, win a starting spot as a freshman. I think I'm gonna do this." He's like, "No, no, don't tell me what you're gonna do. Show me what you did. Call me when the job's done. You know what I mean? Show me what you did." And if they take that mentality, they'll be just fine.
Who you think? Laura asked. Who do you think's the alpha on the team? Who's the alpha male, player wise?
Oof. At times, I would say Ty Robinson. I would say Bullock on defense. So then you got the defense kind of covered, right? Maybe Gifford, right? But there's maybe like Ty and Giff. Jamari, is has a little bit of alpha in him, but on offensively, I think they're searching for true leadership.
Yep.
And ideally, you would like it to be Ben Scott.
Yep.
But it's not, and so he needs to step up, dude.
Can you do, as you look at that, like, do you see them making changes? Like, are you going to start to see some young guys in the game? Are they going to try something different, or stick
They
with?
might. I mean, that's what you said. That's what you do in the bye week. You get, excuse me, you get your veterans, some reps. We need to get better. Hey man, chill out. Your veterans need to get better, but then also your young guys need to get a ton of reps. And if you got some young guys that have been on the uptick, put them in the pressure cooker and see how well they do. I don't think this is a time for wholesale changes. I don't think this is a time where you say like, oh, we need to fire 4 coaches. That's panic mode, and we dealt with that with the last staff, right? We're going to wipe out and essentially point the fingers at the run. Was it Ryan Held, Verduccio, Greg, and somebody else, and like that was it, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't get us anywhere. And so I think so you got to be steadfast in your leadership, and everybody needs to be better. The coaches probably need to coach better, but more importantly, in order for the coaches to coach better, the players need to play better and prepare better and be invested. And that's a want to, that's a we thing, and it can be done during the bye week. Things can change in the bye week if you attack it the right way. Is it going to be easy? No. Is these next 3 games going to be easy? No. So get that out of your damn mind. Don't even think that USC is 4-5. You better go out there and be ready for the best USC team that you've ever seen, and they got to be ready. You got to make them ready for the best Nebraska version that they've ever seen. Then let's see where the chips may fall. If you're going out there think you're going to win on paper, man, you're going to end up being a paper champ, and you're essentially a paper chump. So more realistically, it can change, but it's got to be a we have to change. It can't be Jay Foreman is playing well, then I think I've done my job. No, I got to do more. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got to do more. I got to play the same and or better, but I got to get Matt Verzal, Damon Benning. I got everybody else to play better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to make sure I'm doing what the hell I'm doing. And then that's going to be infectious in the team. So, we got to really try to adapt more of a team and we concept, and it's led by us, and it's not personal, it's business. So we have to do better, and we got to maybe, I don't know, I'm just guessing, some of the players got to get out of this kind of like AAU mentality of like, everybody's got to get theirs and we're going to be good. Right. No. Yeah. Because I look at it like this, Vert. We've had some players around here have some pretty dang good individual seasons, right? When we were losing.
Correct.
and none of them became all conference.
Nope.
Right, but there was guys that weren't as good that were all conference or second or third team or whatever it may be. Why? Is because they were on the winning teams, and you can change all that if you control this last quarter of the season. This is what they'll talk about more versus the skid that you're on. You go and handle your business in these last 3 games. They'll just look at these last 3 games that you had a skid on as like learning process. So it's all right in front of you, and that's why this season is so different. But it's also so frustrating because you can't tell me there's a season where Nebraska's been able to really control their destiny with this much time left, with realistically winning games or winnable games, and you. This is after stubbing your toe a couple times. Most of the time we come down to the last game we're playing Iowa. Heck, the one time they were going to the Big Ten championship. The other time they were trying to win, or they were going to a major bowl game. So they were highly motivated. You know what I'm saying? They were a better team than we were, and we were playing on the road half the other 2 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, realistically, is a time we still can control, like, in a lot of ways, our own destiny, and still can have a good season. But you got to change some of your habits that you think that you've been doing to the magnitude that you should, but you haven't been. That's
right.
what you get what I'm saying. And so those are hard conversations to have.
Okay, so in an ongoing form, what running back at Nebraska gives you the best chance to be successful?
They all do. Dante Del ran with physical, was physical yesterday. I would, he'd probably say, like, hey, the one thing you'd like to see him get a little bit better, making guys miss. And you say Emmett does a little bit of everything. He does good, right? Helps in the pass game. The same with Vermeer. I think. And look, your running back's only as good as the holes. We got to do a better job up front, and we're more. But it's hard for me to say that the offensive line needs to do better. I felt like in the first half we had a ton of time to pass, and I felt like a few times we ran it, we did get some push. We got to do a better job on the edges, right? And then sometimes we need to do better, like at the tight end H back or whatever. And then we need then it's like, okay, there was a couple times the offensive line didn't do it, and that's the way the game goes. But what we need to do is holistically, that's line, tight ends, like H backs or whatever you want to call them, receivers. We all need to block. We need to do better in the run game.
That's a great point, because it's still things will look good except for one. Like,
right. Don't be that guy.
Have 10 out of 11. Exactly. Yeah. That should be the
that needs to be the moniker. That needs to be the moniker. I don't want to be the guy, and I call it direct access, right? So I do this thing on Fridays. It's called the Foreman's 4, 4 keys or whatever.
Yeah.
I always put in there as either as one of the main points or just extra. Don't allow direct access plays on offense, and don't allow direct access plays on defense. And that's explosive plays against you on defense, a running back having direct access to the second or third level, right? Or a receiver running wide open. That's direct access to the gut of your defense. And offensively, don't allow defenders to directly access your plays at the point of attack or backside. And if you have stall or stalemates and 50-50 wins, or maybe even a little bit of a loss that where at least you're getting a body on body, then the onus goes on to the running backs and whoever has the ball to make plays. But you can't make plays with guys in your face. You can't make plays the way that we were, we were playing at times. And so if they get back to that, they'll be just fine.
You want me to swing down to Lincoln and me and you'll go to practice, and I'll show them how physical practice is and whoop your ass real quick?
Yeah, I'll do that. If it meant for Nebraska to win the rest of the games, I'd let you do that. I'd take that on the chin. But that wouldn't be that would be a hard thing for you to do.
Come on now, it's gonna happen.
No.
Hey, tell the people where they can listen to you at.
93.7 The Ticket, 4 to 6 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'm on there, and then on Sunday mornings I'm on from 8 to 9.
That a baby.
And then also you can check out the J Foreman 44 YouTube channel. So I have other stuff that I upload on there, and I have the Foreman 4, which is actually been pretty good, and I'll start to do some stuff after the game as well.
You're doing that? You got that on Twitter and Insta and all that shit?
Yeah, and then my Twitter is Foreman5644.
On your TikTok? You doing TikTok dances?
Not yet. No, man, I'm slew-footed. I can't dance.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my good buddy, Jay Foreman, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, my brother.
Swing up sometime. I'll beat your ass real quick.
I'll swing up, but that ain't happening.
All right. We'll see
All
you,
right,
bud.
man. I'll see. All right.
Thanks, pal. Jay Foreman, everybody. It's kind of crazy, yeah. Like the things that he goes through and he lists off. Same thing I said, right? We view it the same way. You got to have physicality. You got to have alpha males. And the point that he made that I loved is you can't be the guy. Don't be that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Don't be the guy that screws it up. Don't be the guy that doesn't do their job. Don't be the guy that doesn't fill. Don't be the guy that doesn't block. Don't be that guy. And if you watch, that guy exists a lot. You watch plays, 9 of 10 are right. Doesn't work. Watch more plays, 10 of 10, 10 of 11 guys are right. It's not right. All 11 of you have to do your job or somebody has to go above and beyond. Okay. Now, when it says offensively, if somebody has to go above and beyond, if you're running the ball, somebody on the interior 5 misses. Now your back has to make a move. Has to make a move that he doesn't want to make. He wants to make that move 5 yards down the field because you couldn't do your job. He's got to make it in the backfield. There was time to throw in the first and early in the game, right? There was time. Didn't happen. Route combinations didn't get off, nobody open. As Laura's brought up, we didn't have the chance to get him the ball. Probably should have delivered quicker. Again, there's got to be some throws. Nobody wants to talk about it because Dylan is a great player, but there's got to be balls that are rifled in. Not every ball is a touch pass. You can't float everything over somebody. You have got to rifle some in. Let's get it where he has them. Slants, boom, get it on him quick, let him run. And they say, oh, the defense doesn't dictate. Sometimes slants pretty good play against a lot of defenses. It really is. Not enough people call it. Who's going to be nasty? No, during the off week, you can't go home. There's no home. We're home. This is your home now. You're going to stay here. We're all going to get this done together. It's interesting that he brought that up because I haven't talked to Jay in quite a while because he's a busy man, but he brought up we. He brought up the we component. We need to sit down with a coach and do this. We need to talk about this. We need to practice. We need to do this. We. It's always we. And it's not just the top 22 we. It's the 120 or however many you're carrying we. And I'll take it out further. It's the 140 with the we and the coaching staff. We. And it's the 180 with we and the support staff. If all 180 of you don't have the same vision of success, it's going to go bad. It is. Because you take one person that does not want to go that way. You think this is just us. You think this is just players that think this way or see this way or act this way. Mike Mason, guy was our manager. Dude's awesome. He and I will have the same conversation. The same conversation because we all pulled the rope in the same direction. 96, we didn't. 97, they did. 94, 95, I'm struggling today. I apologize for smacking the mic and rocking the camera. It's a we game. Football is a game that will prepare you for life. You do work. We prepare together. I'm not going to be the reason why we fail. I'm going to be the reason why we succeed. If you get into my same mindset, we are going to win. We are going to be great at what we do. Fact. But we at Nebraska, in the locker room, in the prep room, in the film room, in the evaluation room, we have to get better. And we can't be happy with this bullshit. We can't. It just cannot happen. We have to go prepare for 2 weeks. Of those 2 weeks, you get Sunday off. Okay? We need to work on technique. We need to work on responsibility. We need to work on accountability. We need to work on fundamentals. When we master fundamentals, then we can go win. Because when we do those things, we look good. When we freelance and we go get mine, looks like shit. It's a we thing. We have to figure it out. And that's the we inside that building. Oh, and that's it. I'm mentally tapped out, flustered. My eyes have bugged out a couple times today. Like the old rage kind of came back, which I thought I squashed last night. But for those that want, it's not a buyout. There's no buyout happening. So just let that one filter down. My two favorite guys are going at the buyout numbers. Ain't happening. Evaluation has to happen. They got to figure it out. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I always love chatting with you on Sunday. I'll continue to try to get guests on. I know I get repetitive and boring at times, but we'll see who we can drum up next week and see what they can come up with. Off week. Oh, man. I don't know what we'll do in the off week. By Tuesday, by Wednesday, I will figure something out. I will see if we can do a show. Maybe we have some guys come in and just bullshit and tell stories. That's always funny. People seem to like that. But I'll see what I can put together. By Wednesday, I will make an announcement if there will be a Sunday show next week because Nebraska is off. I think we all need a break. But love you guys. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. And thanks to Jay Foreman for dropping in. He's usually not as boisterous as he normally was last year, but I think he's a little flustered like we all are. But have a great Sunday, everybody. I'll be slinging pies down there if you need anything, and we'll talk to you sometime soon. Go Big Red.